Good morning, YouTube. It's Kevin. Sunday, July 5th. I didn't push to get up and try to find yard sales this morning. I'm going to use today to kind of get my backlog of items that need to be listed. Try to get that fixed, squared away, put away. You see this area of our garage, at least down to like kind of where the DeWalt radio is. There's that table. Some of these boxes are empty and not. Some of that stuff, a lot of this stuff needs to be listed. Some of it doesn't. Some of it's already been listed. Then we've got things across the top. Some of it's been listed. This whole workbench right here behind, listed or not, whether it goes on eBay, Facebook yard sale, or Facebook marketplace, wherever. I just want to kind of get through some of the chaos, get some organization done. And then there's this, not even eBay stuff, but you can see I was digging through our old electronics box the other day looking for a specific something. I don't even know what it was at this point. So, yeah, we'll see how it goes today. I hope to get several things listed, start making some money off of these things. I've been out doing treasure hunting and yard sales and estate sales and things like that. So here we go. So as I was thinking about this, I'm going to make this somewhat of a training tutorial for people like myself who are new into reselling, or this could apply to you and have nothing to do with reselling. But sometimes we get overwhelmed with the size of projects, or sometimes procrastination slips in and we just keep pushing things aside. So we're going to try to make this not a textbook, but something that works for me, and hopefully you guys can apply a little bit of it to your lives and the things you're doing, especially with reselling. So you can see what I'm up against, right? That looks like a lot to deal with when you got to consider a lot of this needs to be cleaned. A lot of this needs to be researched. Obviously, a lot of these things need to be listed. Some of these things aren't even part of the resale business. So we're going to start here. And step one for me, give myself a place to work. Move the vehicles out. I've got plenty of driveway space here to pull things out. I've got plenty of space here in the garage in front of me to pull things out. And you may not have that opportunity, but work with the space you've got. If you've got to temporarily stage stuff in one area of the house or the area you work in, do that. Get it out of your way, out of sight, out of mind. It's not an issue. Okay, so that's what I'm going to work on next. Is I'm going to start organizing and piling some of these things into different categories. What needs to be cleaned? What needs to be listed? What needs to be just moved and staged somewhere else, to again start breaking this down into smaller increments. So when you're looking at a big task, that's another important thing to do. Take it down into small pieces. It makes it so much easier, and for a brain like mine, makes it so much, it just flows so much smoother. I like things in orders, and I like things not to be overwhelming. I don't want to tackle everything you see here in one shot. So I'm going to start breaking it down into the small piles and the action items, and we'll discuss that in a few minutes. Hang tight. Something I highly suggest anybody doing these kinds of projects: coffee. I love my coffee. But I've just taken the last, can't find a place to sit it. I've just taken the last 5 minutes, and let me show you, maybe 5 to 10 minutes, what's happened already. So if you can see behind the first picnic table there, the picnic table in the front, all of that has been cleared out. Most of that is over here. Those are things we're going to keep, okay? Easy peasy. There's that pile. It's out of my way. I can work. There was some empty boxes that I can use for shipping. So put them out of the way. Get them over there. You don't need them anytime, for today, what we're trying to accomplish today. The big thing to do was get all the electronics back in that electronics box. Now, that is its own project, and I'm not going to lie, this is one that I need to go through. There's a lot of things in here that are going to get tossed out or just reorganized. There's a lot of cables that are knotted, just that nightmare of stuff I don't want to deal with, okay? So, there is my solution for right now, okay? That's not a permanent solution. That is nothing that I am proud to do because this really needs to be done. However, with the goal in mind today to deal with this and to deal with that, this is just a roadblock that I'm not going to deal with today. There is, again, deep procrastination in that stupid electronics box. However, not the goal today. So let's keep pushing on all of this stuff, and we'll back up a little and we'll take it again. We'll see where we're at in just a few. So how cool is this? Okay, now looking at that compared to what it looked like a little while ago, may not seem like much to some of you. To some of you, you might think, oh wow, how great is that? All I've done, again, is break things down. I had stuff that was across that top shelf, some of it listed, some of it not. The hole, obviously, in the back, that shelf was covered. So all of that stuff has been pulled down and, again, separated into piles. The big pile here you see in front of me is its own project. That is eBay listings. Some of this stuff is listed. Some of it is needs to be researched and listed. Some of it may move over to the Craigslist pile, or the Facebook Marketplace pile, which is here. Okay, so these are items that would be either really difficult for me personally to ship, and there's a lot of other videos out there with don't be intimidated by shipping. But you've also got to look at things like that wine rack. I can't sell that wine rack for 10 bucks, but it'll cost like 15 bucks to ship it. Most people aren't going to pay that. Or this really expensive, rare gas lamp it's about a $250 lamp. Rayo, I think, is the manufacturer. And this particular lamp has so many fragile pieces. Of course, I can insure it and packet it, the best that I can to make sure that nothing's going to break, but it's still a high-risk item. And I'd really love my buyer to get it in one piece. This DeWalt Sawzall, it's an old piece. It's over here for a couple reasons. I had to order a screw for it to lock the blades in, but that reciprocating saw, even though it's high quality and great, I can only get like 20 bucks out of it on eBay. And again, it will be very heavy and costly to ship. Tools are a good one to list on Facebook Marketplace. I won't get, I think I could get at least as much money, maybe even a little more, for that particular saw by selling it to a local contractor. And trust me, if your area is anything like mine, contractors are all over the place. So that's where we're at right now. I'm going to stop. I'm going to take a break. I deserve it, I'm maybe looking here at a total of, 30 minutes of work. But look what 30 minutes has done. I now have manageable tasks that I can do, and I can start making further progress. Also, I've got my little DeWalt stereo back over there. I couldn't even get to it. That's where I keep it, and I turn it on and I listen to it. Get some jams going while I'm out here doing things and working. But I couldn't even get to it hardly back there. So it's just been sitting back there, and I've been out here working in silence when I was doing anything. Now it's back in its spot. I've obviously turned the volume down so eBay doesn't flag me on copyright stuff. I'm sorry, so YouTube doesn't flag me on that. But, once I shut this video off, I'm going to jam some more, get some more tunes flowing. So there's where we're at, guys. Hang tight. So what's next? Well, I'm not ready to take on the overwhelming task of the big eBay pile back there, but I am going to start with a smaller task to help me build momentum, which is to work on this stuff. Okay, so I'm going to get that listed on Craigslist. I keep saying Craigslist. That was the old platform that everyone used. Still a good platform for certain things, not for a lot of things. So Marketplace. With this cleaned off, I'm now going to take my cleaners, wipe it down, get all the dust off, probably stage a white background here, a temporary one, because I'm not a seller where I have permanent stations set up, so I have to invest some time to do things, to give better pictures, and to have things in one place, such as the things I want to list, as well as my phone to take pictures. And for these Craigslist items, even though I don't like to, I prefer to sit down at a computer with multiple screens. I like to drag things around, but for today's purposes, and only having that many items of marketplace listings, we're gonna set up a temporary area here. We're gonna use my cell phone to get some somewhat decent pictures and get those things posted on Craigslist. Marketplace. So that's what's next. Clean this area up and get it ready. Yeah. All clean. Be creative. We all don't have all the specialty items and tools that we need as a reseller. So what have I done? I've set up a resale station, a picture taking station, right? I don't have the fancy LEDs that a lot of these guys use. So what have I done? I do have work LEDs, work lights, shop lights. I needed to elevate them. They're still not high enough, but this will be okay for today. What did I do? Took 2 old trash cans and stacked them up. What else did I do? I took the shipping box that I had right over there. I'm utilizing that. I looked for a white background, a sheet or something. Couldn't find one. So I found, this is actually, the funny part, this is actually a Snuggie. You guys remember those? Found that in the closet and tacked it up. Just 3 nails here. Okay, needed something heavy to weigh it down. What have I got plenty of? I've got plenty of hammers. So I've created this station. Obviously none of that will be there. It'll just be the burgundy background. So there you go. I mean, it probably took me 30 minutes to get this set up, and I'll use it, for listing probably 30 items today. And I might leave it up. I might not. All of that's gonna play out through the day as things unfold and I get further along. But this is what I do. I don't do this every time. Sometimes I just take a little crappy picture on my phone and post something. But today I wanted to try and make this a little better, get some better pictures. And the burgundy background, there's pros and cons to anything. But what's cool about the burgundy background is you're not going to see that a lot on eBay or Marketplace. Got it. Or Marketplace for that reason. So it almost identifies me. Now, what would really be cool is if I had a store name or, a YouTube video channel name, which we still need. Throw a comment down there and give us some suggestions. But a logo going across here would be awesome because branding is important. If you don't believe me, ask the treasure hunter. Which treasure hunter? Crap, I'm forgetting his name. That guy, the big tall, 6'6", bald-headed. Why does Cincinnati Picker keep coming to mind? He's not Cincinnati Picker. He is... Dominic is... whatever his name is. I'll cut all of that out. Also, I forgot to mention, as you can see, like I said, I don't like to feel crowded. I don't, you know, that's just me, but that's a whole nother thing. So what I've done here is, you know, 30 seconds. I drug some boxes and bags over. I pulled this table out. I've got plenty of room to walk in here and operate, right? I've also left myself room over there, which will be a cleaning station, because this guy, this old rickety America's Fruit Growers Produce California of the USA. That old vintage thing, it's in bad shape. But what can I do? I can clean it up. I can dust it off and make it prettier for pictures. So, you know, it'll be a vintage piece that somebody wants that's intended to be worn and beat up. So we'll take that over there. I'll pull this table out some more. I'll take that over there. I'll create myself a cleaning station where I can clean it, move it, photo it, and list it. Boom! Be efficient with your time. This guy had been outside and was really dirty and had a lot of cobwebs, etc. So when I cleaned it with just a, you know, whatever, generic cleaner, I, you know, had created wet spots on it. So I didn't want to move it right over to the listing area and start taking pictures. I needed to dry, hence put it out in the sun. But instead of doing nothing, I went ahead and cleaned the next item, this telephone stand that's going to get listed. So you can use little things like that not to get stalled. Now, I love breaks, and I take probably more than most, but to be efficient and to get things done in a timely manner, don't sit and wait for 10 minutes, 15 minutes for that thing to dry out. Move on to another item where you can make forward progress. So I'm ready to scratch that one, we'll cut it out. So I'm ready to take pictures of this stand. It's had time to dry. Still has stains on it, but that's the rustic look. Rustic, key word. Buyers love the word rustic. So it's still going to be rustic, have that look to it with stains and everything else, but that's what we're after. The difference in lighting. Mine is very amateur. It's not professional, as we've already discussed. But watch the difference. Boom. Boom. Throwing a couple lights on that. It lights up the background. It lights up the piece that you're about to photo. And what a difference that makes. So one thing, I'm just learning as I go as well, guys. So one thing that I knew historically, I knew this happens, and I dare not test it because I just don't want to waste that much time, although really, I guess I should. Maybe I will test it. But what happens is when I list a Facebook Marketplace ad, I'm a member of about probably 20 yard sale groups, and so when I list it on my phone, I found that if I try to list it in about more than 8 places, it'll just crap out on me and not list, and I've lost all of that work. You know, uploading the pictures and, you know, typing the title, putting it in the description, etc., etc. So what I've done since I discovered that was I would list it in like 5 of the places, and then I would go to my laptop and bring up that particular item, and you can list it in as many places as you want here. So boom, 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 I just check them all. Boom, 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 post. Now that's an annoying extra step that has to be done, but that's what I've been doing. And so point is this: the laptop is now over here because I have not set up enough power. I've only got 2 plugs over there, and I don't want to lose my radio. I don't want to lose my fan. I could put in a power strip. Actually, look, there's plugs in the side of that DeWalt, so I can kind of create more space over here to have the laptop easily accessible, so I can do my listing, turn around, hit the laptop, and not be back and forth to get those listings in all the yard sale groups that I want them in all the Facebook marketplace groups that I want to put them in. So I'm going to do a little testing. One, I'm going to test and see if my phone will let me list something. I'm just going to take a picture of something and list it and submit it and try to put it in all the groups. So that'll be a test. If that works, hooray. None of the rest of it has to be dealt with. If that doesn't work, which is what I assume, we'll look at another setup to help keep the efficiency there so I'm not running all over the garage. You don't want to walk from one end of the house to get your paper towel and then go back to the other end of the house and get your cleaning supplies and then go to the other side of the house to take your pictures. You want to keep everything together. Hang tight. I'll let you know what happens. Okay, cool. The phone worked. I think it let me list it in all of about 20 groups. So let's go back and refresh this page. Should have a picture of an album. There it is. Let's open it, see if we can see what's list to more places, 0 listings, whatever. List. Oh, so it only took 5 places of all of those I selected. So I am wrong. It will require delete listing. Delete. It will require, oh, I don't know what happened. Anyway, it will require laptop input to get it where I want it to be. Let's make sure, double check as we go here. Yeah, listed to 17 places, so I guess I've got 17 places that I list to. But okay, so there you go. Now I've got to get this over here where it can be easily accessed and not have to go all over the place to do these things. So a few quick updates. I've spent quite a bit of time getting things ready. That table I'm not selling. All that's left is that George Foreman. Pro tip here. We inherited this when we moved into the house that we're living in, and I've never even tested it, turned it on. Do not take the time to clean stuff and get the auction or listing ready until you have tested it to make sure it works. I've done that before. Nothing that's going to be as intensive as that grill, but I've done that before, and then I was like, really? I just wasted 20 minutes on this and it doesn't even work. So as you can see, everything that has been put on Marketplace is now being stored up here. So that gets it off the floor, out of the way. I still have my workspace. That bar stool doesn't exactly work well on that shelf, but again, it's off the floor, it's out of the way. That's what I'm after. Seems like there was something else. What else can I remember that I was going to tell you before I stop recording? Oh yeah. Secondly, I'm the type of person, I started listing and I want to roll with that. So I made the sacrifice. Laptop is still over here in the corner. Listing and everything is still going on over here. So boom, listing happens on my cell phone. Then I run over here and refresh my Facebook Marketplace page. And I click on list in more areas or list in more whatever, put it in on more pages, and click, put it in all the pages. Not as efficient as I'd like to be, but sacrifice I'm making to kind of work with me and how I feel right now and how I'm doing right now. Again, I'm on a roll, so I don't want to interrupt that to take time to save myself, you know, what it would take to walk back and forth. So as the day progresses, looky, the only thing left around this table is my dirty coffee cup with lots of good stuff in it. Coffee, that is. So, wonderfully, all of that has been listed on Marketplace. I was gonna donate this because I bought it and listed it a long time ago. Nobody wanted it. I just threw it on there again for $5, whatever. George Foreman grill, very timely to clean and prep, but it is prepped and listed. And then starting there with the crate coming all the way across, there's my shelf, a few little fans I decided to put on Craigslist because of the heat in the summer. That old lamp, all of this stuff over to the chair has all been listed on Craigslist, and I try to pack it neatly and tightly so I can have more room to store more stuff. Again, you know, if you're not a all-time, full-time, permanent reseller, you've got to adjust. You got to flex, and you got to make do with what you have. So that's where we're at. Next is this monumental task. Like I said, this is kind of a project in itself. But here's what's cool. I've got all of this stuff together. It's all eBay. Okay. Some of it's already listed. All right. So that's what I'm going to do first. Is I'm just going to now start to separate this. Remember what I was saying earlier? Break your task down. That looks overwhelming to me, you know. So break your tasks down into manageable things. How do I break this down the easiest way? Well, I remove the pieces that have already been listed. Okay, so we'll start on that. Took 2 minutes, but with all of this stuff here, it's already listed. So just that little bit makes me look back over here and say, look, you know, a third of that table has just been cleaned off. So the next thing I'll do is get one small item that's easy to comp, easy to list. I can just pretty much guess what the shipping's going to be on it, and I'll get that going. Those little black lights right there, battery powered motion detector lights. That's my next task. It gets the ball rolling, and again, just take a small task and build on it, and we'll keep going. Okay, so I've been a listing madman. I haven't been Lonnie from Shed Flips. That guy is a listing machine. But you know, I'm challenged with things that he's got so down pat and that goes so well. Don't even need to talk about it. Nonetheless, this is now what's left, and it doesn't look like a huge amount has been done, but it has been a ton of listings. I've listed a lot of smalls that were coming out of these various boxes and such, and if you'll see here, this is now the new items that have been listed on eBay table. And so again, there were a handful of them here that were already listed, but I've got so much stuff on here now, it's like woohoo, how exciting. And a funny story, I went to record this maybe 15 minutes ago or something, and my camera battery had died, had no juice left, and I was like, crap, and my phone was getting low on battery as well. So I was like, okay, well, phone will last longer, I can't record anything with the camera, so I plugged the camera in and put a charge on that and got a few more listings made while I waited on this to charge. So nonetheless, now the phone's almost done, so I got to get it on the charger, but I am ready for a break, guys. I'm ready for a break, so I'm going to do that. We'll see. Maybe I list more, maybe I don't. But I'm very pleased with what's been done. All right, guys, I'm wrapping it up. It's been a very productive day, and I'm going to leave things set up so I can work on it tomorrow, but I wanted to show you this. I've spent about the last hour or so going through these three little Lego sets, and I didn't know how much was in this bag that I bought for $1 at the yard sale, but I know minifigs can easily sell, and I saw like 2, maybe 3 minifigs. Everything had been busted apart. It was all
you know, taken apart and everything. Nonetheless, long story short, I took some time to put this back together, and I'm a Lego fanatic. I love these things, so that was not a chore. That was a pleasure. With that said, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 minifigs. All the other pieces were complete. I couldn't believe in this bag that all 3 of these sets were in there, and I'm not missing a single piece. You know, so this little lot right here will easily get me $30, if not more. I'm gonna bust it up, put like all of these minifigs together, put all these things, and kind of sell them as like army builders um, for um, for people who like to expand on their Lego sets. A lot of people do it with Star Wars too. They used to do like troop builders, where they buy a bazillion 3 3/4 inch stormtroopers or different types of troopers. And so I'm betting, I haven't researched it yet, but I'm betting that people do that with Lego as well. So, you know, big score there. But I also cooked some dinner and pigged out, and I'm done. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Y'all have a fabulous day, and stay tuned for the next portion to this video.